welcome to this episode of the Unknown Name Game Podcast. I think that's a good title, the Unknown Name Games Podcast.
It's called a work in progress, I guess.
It's a work in progress. Yeah, I'm and I'm here with the. You don't have a silky smooth voice.
I don't have a silky smooth voice.
No, it's not smooth, but it is a cool voice. It sounds cool.
Cool, thanks.
Well, that's Alex.
What's up?
And Alex is he's the calm person, I think. I am just the banting ranter. I just keep going. I don't stop. But yeah, this is a podcast where we talk about games, specifically, I guess, all kinds of games, except for board games. Do you play
Yeah, I don't
board
have.
games, Alex?
I actually don't. I mean, I've played a couple in my time, but it's not a thing that I typically do.
Yeah, we usually stick. So we both usually stick to. Okay, actually, you know what? I stick to console games usually, and Alex over here is a huge PC gamer. So that's one of the
Yeah,
main differences.
yeah. I mean, I have consoles, but I just choose to play most of my stuff
You
on PC.
you neglect them. There we go. You
Yeah,
don't
I
show
mean,
them love.
I try to play them when I can, but yeah.
Sounds like when you can. But yeah, today the topic is we're gonna talk about Tokyo Game Show. We live here in Tokyo, both me and Alex, so we are the best source for your news on Japanese games, like that one other podcast that we're not ever gonna talk about. Actually, we should talk about them. Actually, we shouldn't.
I mean, there's a lot of podcasts that do this thing, so
Exactly. We're just one of many in the
it's like
sea.
one in actual many. Yeah, it's statistical minority. It's ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Apex. No, not Apex. Mind trip right there. We're gonna talk about Tokyo Game Show, the games that we saw, our expectations, what maybe kind of was cool, what wasn't cool, and then finally a couple of some news, and yeah, then we'll just close out the show. So first of all, we're just gonna go into the topic of Tokyo Game Show, and it was pretty good. I went all 4 days.
Right, you did. I think it was pretty good for me too. I actually didn't go all 4 days. I only went for 2 out of 4 of them.
Yeah,
But I did spend a lot of time on the floor actually, like, checking out as much as I could, like, physically all the booths that I could.
yeah, you were on the floor the entire first day. You were just
I was,
we should
yeah,
say
I was.
we were on there on the business days because we were there for business.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just on the floor the entire day. He came back and he's like, "Oh gosh, I saw too much."
I was really tired. So, like, when I got home, day 1 TGS, I, like, sat in my chair and I was like, "I'm going to bed." Like, I'm so tired. Like, I hadn't walked that much in a long, long time.
I you know I so I had the opposite experience of I spent all of TGS working, but the very last 2 days I spent at the indie booths. So I was just looking at indie games and VR games. That
Right.
was that was my TGS. So you have the better TGS experience
I don't know. I mean, it depends on
potentially.
what you would call, like, better. Because, like, here's the thing, like, TGS it's the biggest game show in Japan, if not,
Right.
like, the only one, right?
Right. Well,
Um,
there's Bit Summit, but that's different. So
Bit
yeah.
Summit, yeah, is pretty cool, but it's a little different in the fact that it's only indie games.
Right, right.
Um, so I checked out, like, the major booths, Konami, Sony,
Yeah.
Sega, and I
Which which
sorry,
I
go
gotta
ahead.
s oh, no, I was gonna say, which I have to say, usually so I did walk the floor for, 30 minutes, and I wanna say, I've been going to Tokyo Game Show for at least 4 years, and I don't know, the booths just weren't as hype looking, except for Capcom, because Capcom always brings it, but, like, Square's booth was because it's Final Fantasy and it's
Right.
Shinra,
That was
themed,
cool though. I think that was kinda cool. So, basically,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you guys don't know, Square Enix, was at TGS this year, as they always are, and, their booth was kinda modeled after a tiny Midgar from FF7.
Yeah.
So it looked, like, really industrial. It really looked like a factory, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I thought that was, like I was really into that, like, aesthetic.
I
It
I
looked really cool.
I was just like, "Guys, it looks like you saved money this year. You just went with the bare bones just layout.
But it
Bare
did it
bones
did feel it
steel."
did feel a little smaller this year, I think.
Yeah, there was, you know, in recent past, there's always been a lot of smartphone game companies there or, um,
Right.
kind of, how you call, like, schools or whatever, like, just people advertising a certain product. Like, this year, 5G was a big thing, so you had
Yeah,
Docomo. They had a
Docomo had a
big booth.
gigantic booth for some reason, and I was
Um,
like, "What are they doing?
um,
Like, what are you
but
doing, Docomo? Like, what's the thing here?"
5G changing the future, and then right in front of the Docomo booth was the Xperia booth, and Xperia was weird because when I walked by, they just had, like, 6 models on stage. I don't know what they were doing, like,
Right.
maybe they were having a contest because there was an audience, and I'm like, "Why
They're
why
just there for the
why
models. Yeah, they're for
why?"
the models. So I think, like, in my mind, like, not the weirdest, but, like, the 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 boost that made me think, like, "Why are you here?" the most,
Yeah,
was Docomo.
yeah.
Samsung had a booth there, which is just, like they were just, like, pimping their SSDs, and I was
Yeah,
like,
there was a
"These."
SSD, and look, they
Yeah.
had the girl companions out just wearing their race suits, like,
Yeah.
"Buy an SSD, yo,
And then
and
there
take a
was
picture of me."
I think it's called AK Racing, like, the company that makes gaming chairs.
Oh, yeah, next to the Indies, right?
Yeah, and then there was SCUMO, which is a computer, like, parts store in Tokyo.
Which, SCUMO I thought was fine because it was, and even the AK Racing chairs, because they were in the hall with all the other vendors that were just selling
Their
merch
stuff,
release. So
yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, like, it's not that bad," but Docomo was in the main hall.
Yeah, and they were huge. They had, like,
They were
gigantic booth, yeah, and I was just like, "What are you doing here, Docomo?" I
Docomo
wasn't
was
sure, like,
yeah,
they were pimping 5G, right, which is the
right,
next, like, cellular standard after 4G,
yeah,
um, but it wasn't like they didn't have phones there that we could try out that were on 5G. They were just, like, there
it's
saying that they
just
were gonna do 5G, so I was like, "Okay, like, I get it, but
yeah,
why
it's
though?"
weird
Yeah.
because, like, right next to their booth, I think Cyberpunk was next to their booth, right?
Docomo? I don't think so. I think
It was a
Cyberpunk
different
was
building?
I
Oh,
feel
a
like
different building.
Cyberpunk was, like, in the corner somewhere.
They were in a corner. Cyberpunk, like, I did go to that booth, and it was pretty amazing. Like, there's nothing on the outside of the booth minus the awesome sign
Yeah, the logo,
thing.
right?
The
And then the
logo is
motorcycle.
and the motorcycle, yeah, and it's just like it's so simplistic, yet it's so good. And they had you could take tickets. Well, you could wait in line to sit on the bike, of course, and your friends are
Take a
like, "I'm
picture,
gonna."
yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have any friends, I'm sorry. I think they had someone take a picture of you. You could have asked the staff, but like, yeah, they had an hour long demo that was being played inside of their theater, inside of the booth by the
Right.
dev team.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, there's like 120 something seats in there. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, I
Nothing
didn't
was
check that
outside this
out.
booth. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
wish. I wish you did.
Oh, so I could tell you about it? I know someone who did actually go into the theater, and they basically said it was, like, 50 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
It was 50 minutes of one mission done 2 different ways.
So they did. So maybe it was the trailer they released, that 15-minute trailer, where it was like you can proceed this way, or you can do it this way or that way.
I think it was, well, probably similar. I don't know what mission it was, but it was almost an hour of one mission, so I guess, like, 30 minutes each way.
Each. Yeah.
And then one way is, like, if you were kinda more action-based and you're going in, like, guns blazing or something, and then, the other way would be, like, if you're playing it, a little more stealthy, like, you have a less, um, like, aggressive play style or something like that.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the to say it's the hottest game of next year is an understatement. It's gonna be like I've played a little bit of Witcher. I like Witcher.
Right.
I didn't have a PC to play the first two the way I wanted to, and I didn't have an Xbox either. But now that I do have a PC, it's like, oh,
You
you know
can,
what?
yeah, you can definitely play 1, 2, and 3.
I can definitely play them. Uh, but I think the only thing they really unveiled for Tokyo Game Show was I think the demo was in Japanese, and that the yeah, everything was localized for Japanese voice, dub, sub, whatever. All that was localized. So that's cool.
Right. What I'm curious about Cyberpunk is, how it might get censored in Japan.
What would they censor?
Just all the nudity in it, because like, Witcher 3 is censored in Japan as
Oh,
far as I know.
that's
Um
that's true. There was some nudity, but like Japan, they have just shops where you can buy the Western the f-
versions.
the
Yeah.
exported version, imported version, imported.
Well,
Yeah,
it would be imported into Japan, yeah,
yeah,
the Western
yeah,
versions. So I mean, like, so Japan is like, I don't know, it's kind of weird depending on how you look at it, but a lot of like sexual content gets like it flies under the radar here in Japan,
yeah,
and then like
yeah.
usually it's gore that gets like super censored. Like Mortal Kombat never saw the light of day. In Japan, it was just too gory. They're like, we're not putting this game out here.
Well, remember there was also the crap. What was the game? I'm trying to think. It's a horror based game. It was a horror game from the creator of Resident Evil.
Evil Within.
Evil Within, yeah, yeah. Evil
Yeah.
Within, literally, they put like the gore, like features of that game onto a DLC that you would buy. It was a $5 DLC code, I think,
Oh, for Japan because
for Japan.
it was cut
Yeah,
out, right?
it was cut out. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
strange
Um,
Japan.
but I know that Witcher 3 in Japan, I'm pretty sure Witcher 3 is relatively censored, just all the nudity in there. Because you can just go into like a lot of parts of that game and it's just like nudity. And then that's just cut back for the Japanese release. And then I was watching a demo of Cyberpunk on YouTube. It's from the official channel.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just breasts. It's just like out, it's like you have to carry like a naked woman. Yeah.
I did see the woman that, I yeah, in that demo, the very first one I think that they did, and it was like, oh, I didn't realize she was naked. But it's not really that big of a deal, honestly. Like it's not.
Well, the thing is, like, I think it's done in a way that makes sense. Like,
Right,
it's
right.
not really there to be like sexual. You know what I mean? Like, it's not
Yeah,
there
it's
to
just
be
literally
like
this woman was injured, and
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Like it was
mean,
a woman who was like in an ice bath because like I don't know, like he had like an organ harvest or something like that, right?
yeah, I mean,
Something like
there's
that. Yeah, and she was just like naked in a bath, and it completely makes sense in the context of the story and like what's happening.
right, right,
So the like the sexual content in there isn't supposed to be like fan service or anything.
right, and they haven't really released any details if you'll be able to like romance anyone
I
within the like.
feel like you can. It's just it's a thing that
It's a
studio
thing that
does. Yeah,
that
yeah,
studio does, right?
yeah.
And like even in the trailer, not the trailer, but that demo, she kind of wakes up and then a guy walks out of her apartment.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I
so
remember that. Yeah.
there's gonna be something there, but Cyberpunk was at the show, and I think a lot of the Japanese gamers showed up and definitely took notice.
I actually think like Cyberpunk is. I think there's a lot of hype for that game in Japan.
Yeah,
And I'm really pleased to see that because I feel like that studio, CD Project Red, kind of deserves that. Like, I feel like they work really hard on these games.
they do. They try to make sure that all of like everything in the world makes sense. It's there for a reason. It's rooted. It has a story.
Yeah, yeah, they really do. I think go to extreme lengths to make sure their storytelling is on point.
And finally, like you can't really have cyberpunk without Japan. Like it really is a genre that I feel like it's not born in Japan, but it's just so intrinsically like linked to Japan and Japanese culture in
Yeah,
so
I
many
think a
different
lot
ways.
of
And
people
yeah.
have that image of Japan, like that's hyper techno kind of city.
And here we are using fax machines.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest culture shock things for me when it
Yeah,
came to Japan. Yeah, and
yeah.
they're like, "Oh yeah, fax is this thing," and I'm like, What are you talking about? Fax?
But
Like,
but I am in the future. You can't
yeah,
just
yeah,
like don't make me fax. I'm in the future.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, Cyberpunk was there, but another game that a lot of people I know are excited, especially for Japanese fans. Sorry, not Japanese fans, but fans of the Japanese anime. Fans of the Japanese anime. They love themselves some Persona.
Oh yeah, P5, yeah,
Yeah, P5, the Royal.
yeah,
I have
P5R. So like in Japan, that game is called Persona 5: The Royal, and then in English, it's just Persona 5 Royal. They just took the out of there because it sounds really dumb.
well, yeah, it kind of does.
The same thing with Gold. So like when P4 Golden came
Oh wait,
out,
so it's not called the Golden, it's just called Golden.
it's called The Golden in Japan, and then in
Right.
outside of Japan, it's called Golden because you're like, we don't need The Golden. Like, what is The Golden?
Everything is the Golden.
Yeah, but yeah, no, P5R, I'm actually really pumped about. I'm excited to play that because I played vanilla P5
Yeah,
when that came out, and I sunk like 100 and some hours into that game,
right.
which sounds like a lot, but to be honest, that's just like one and a little bit of a playthrough because the base story is 100 hours.
That's too long for me. Like
It's
I
so long, like, it honestly surprised me.
well, like I have a friend who's playing it as well on PS. Like every time I see him on PSN, it's just
He's
always
playing
Persona.
Persona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I asked him, he's like, dude, I don't know if I'm ever gonna. I'm like 100 hours in. I'm like, what are you doing? Side quest? He's like, no,
just
I'm
main
still on
story, yeah,
main
yeah.
story. I'm like, geez,
So that game, like, really took me for a ride, because I was, like, playing it, and then I got to what would seem like a logical end in the story,
right,
and then it's like, "Surprise, not over yet,"
halfway.
and you're like, "Oh, no," like,
you're,
"You're not the
you're-
real bad guy," like, yeah.
it's like I want more, but I don't want. Actually, I still want more. But I
No,
mean, you
I
played it.
really yeah, I was so into that game, like, I really love P5.
Well, you played it on the show floor, right? Like you played the.
I played P5R on the show floor, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I stood in line and I checked it out.
yeah. How was it
It was
compared to
really
the
good. Well,
original?
it's kinda weird 'cause it wasn't actually, like, any of the new areas or, like, I couldn't explore the world. It was actually just, like, a battle.
Oh wow.
So, like, when I got to the station, like, I was in front of the line, right?
Right, right.
Lady sits me down and she's just like, "Don't do anything other than battle." She's like, don't go anywhere, like, don't try to leave this room, just start the battle." And I was like, "Okay, sure." But
Don't do
what it
anything.
was like, a challenge fight,
Right.
and I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like this feature might be in the final game.
Okay.
So you start the demo in the Velvet Room. So, I mean, if you played Persona 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 even, you should be pretty familiar with the Velvet Room. You will spend a lot of time in there. That's where you fuse your personas and you kind of do a lot of your persona management.
Right, right.
So you start out the demo in the Velvet Room and you're in your cell. Um,
Okay.
and then like you're just at a menu, like you have a menu in front of you. You actually look, you could open like the typical like menu to look at your characters and all that stuff, but they're like, don't do anything, like don't look at anything.
They just want you to just go have a fight.
Yeah. So then in the menu that you have open in front of you, it's like start fight basically. So I was like, okay, I guess that's the only thing I can do. So you just start to fight, and then you choose your difficulty, and then it was like uh level 20 whatever, like 2 stars, and then like level
Yeah.
30 3 stars, and it goes all the way up to like level 80, like some insanely difficult
So at
um
least I guess it
fights.
was, they assumed hopefully that you've played, Persona 5 before, but it's just one fight. So was there anything different in the fight? Did it feel different or was it just kind of the same? But
it
just
it
yeah.
was mostly the same. If you've played P5, you'll jump straight in and you're like, this is really familiar, like this is like the mechanics are the same. They're not
Right.
going to change anything that's too crazy.
Right, right.
One thing that I did notice though, and I actually don't know if it's because it's royal or if it's just because the fight was being really generous.
Mhm.
Um, but it did feel like my AI companions were just way smarter.
Oh. Yeah,
They
I
were
guess
like,
that yeah.
yeah, they were just making choices that make sense. So like I was in a bit of a pinch. I took like a lot of damage from one of the enemies,
Right.
and then my one of my AI like party members did like a critical, not a critical, but like a, I guess I'll say like super effective attack on one of the enemies. And what that happens
Mhm.
when you do that in Persona, you get an extra action, like it lets you move one more.
Right, right.
So my party member did that, and then with the extra action, they healed me.
Oh, so it's like it's kind of like stuff that you would typically try to do for your partners, like your companions,
Yeah, so it was
AI,
just an
but they're actually
action
doing
that
it for you.
yeah, it
Yeah,
made sense. Like it was a really logically sound move.
decision. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like Donald in Kingdom
From
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah,
Dude, he
yeah.
doesn't know.
He's so useless.
Donald, heal me, mother,
Yeah,
heal
he's
me
Donald, you're the only
now.
one that can heal. You have to heal me.
And Goofy's just going off doing his own thing. You're like, no, no, I need you to heal me. I need it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Like at least that they're because you like I think you've told me in the past that they're completely. I mean, it's the same base game, of course, but they also add an extra layer of fine tuning, adjustments, and just making it a little bit, better overall.
Yeah, I mean, like, and as a fan of Persona 5, I'm like so excited. Like, I was checking out some news about Royal, and like, they're adding a lot of stuff in it. But
Yeah.
instead of just making the story like really, really, really long, like longer than 100 hours, they're just going to change the pace of the main game. So they're adding like a lot of stuff, but I guess they're also just truncating a lot of other stuff to keep the game around 100 hours. Otherwise, you'd be playing the game for like 200 hours or something.
Jeez, like okay, so there's more stuff to kind of like just change up the pace. I mean, that's really cool. And there's also like PS4 like hardware that's actually coming. That's
Oh
Persona
yeah,
5
the
themed.
the the limited ones, like they look really good. They look
Like,
hot.
geez, like there are three of them or two of them.
Yeah, there's three. So there's two like regular PS4 Slims or whatever, and then there's
Yeah,
one PS4 Pro.
jeez, like
And then on top of that, like
one of
let's
the
say
Slims
you
looks good.
they look so good. But
Like
like
the Joker Slim looks good.
I know. But if you already own a PS4, you can actually just pick up limited edition.
Oh, like a plate.
No, just controllers.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's a good thing. I wish like they had interchangeable plates, kind of like
Oh, like the old school PS4s, like the fats, because you could change out the plate on the fat.
really.
Yeah, that
I didn't know that.
shiny. Do you have a PS4 like not slim?
No, I think I have a Slim. Yeah, I
Looks
don't
like
remember.
looks like a cake, I guess. Like it's kind of has rounded corners. That's a slim, but the original PS4, that shiny plate, the part that covers the hard drive,
Yeah.
you can actually switch that out to another plate.
Huh.
So
Well,
I think
dang.
for a limited time, like a very short time, you could actually just get different plates from Sony, I feel like. But that didn't last very long, and I think what ended up happening was that you could just go to the store and get like a third party plate that looked kind of cool.
Well, hope.
Yeah, but the Slim and the Pros, they don't have anything that's like replaceable on the outside, so you kind of just have to get a brand new PS4 if you want something that looks really cool.
Dang. Well, you know what's crazy is I think we've actually I don't know, we've been on for about we never promised anyone links for this podcast.
How long
We
we've
just
been talking? Yeah.
yeah. We were but before the show we were talking like, "Oh, maybe we'll just make it like 20-30 minutes ish." And we're like now I guess around the 20-minute ish mark, which is good. I mean, it's been flowing pretty well. I hope
Probably just
everyone's enjoying it.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, so that was P5R. So out of all the games that I could have played on the floor, I chose P5R, and I kind of regret it. And here's the thing. The reason why is because P5R is coming out in a month in Japan.
It's October, right?
Yeah, October 31st. Yeah. So it doesn't matter like whether or not I played it on the floor or didn't play it on the floor. I was
Yeah.
always going to buy that game. Like I was gonna buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there was, and I think I remember you saying that too. Because like the thing is like Final Fantasy VII remake was also on the floor,
Right, it was, yeah. And that's not
like
coming out until March.
well, assuming everything goes well, but yeah, it's not coming out till next year.
Yeah, so like
So
I should have played that because like, that's like a way longer wait.
you you could have
Yeah.
seen the hotness of Cloud and Aerith, and you could have just seen their hotness on screen.
Yeah,
You could testify. You could have been a testifier.
yeah,
Could have
like how
witnessed.
how hot they look. Did you see the trailer? Did you see the TGS trailer?
Yeah. The trailer was like that. Like I don't know what they're okay. So when I played Seven, my favorite characters were Yiffy, Cloud. Actually, yeah, Sid was my favorite. Sid was my most favorite, and
Because
we
he
still haven't.
was because he
Yeah,
was smoking the whole time.
Sid was a badass man. I'm just like
Yeah.
this dude. I'm gonna follow him. I don't want to follow him. No, I wanted to be him. I'm like, I'm gonna be Sid.
You're gonna
Like,
be a dragoon that smokes, yeah.
and somehow like in between all that, like Red 13 just somehow became like he like snuck up as in like, oh, I think you actually are useful now. And I'm using them. So like my final team was just like Red 13, Sid,
Yuffie?
and Cloud. No, I didn't use Yuffie as much as I thought I would. As I'm a horrible person. I love her for the short hair,
I, like,
which I
never used
won't.
it. So, I think my final party, like, the final boss, like, I'm talking, like, Angel Sephiroth or whatever,
Yeah,
right? God
yeah,
Sephiroth.
yeah.
It was Cloud, Sid, and I actually can't remember the third. Like, I wanna say Tifa, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was Red 13.
Well, I mean, we had friend of the show, Sean. Maybe he'll be on this. He was like, I kept Tifa in because I needed those.
The sex appeal?
He needed the sex appeal. He needed to keep her in shape.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
was yeah,
so like the trailer like looks so
good.
good, so good.
So
Like,
good. I don't
oh
know.
man.
I mean, like, you can tell, like, everything they've been doing for the past umpteenth amount of years it's showing. Like, the question is of course, like, after this comes out, right? After this is released, like, of course, there'll be hopefully more in terms of, like, development cycle and the engine and everything, they'll be okay using it. Actually, I don't even know what engine they're using. I think it's Unreal, right? Looks like
Oh my god, I actually don't
Unreal.
know.
I
I
don't think
feel
they're doing
yeah.
proprietary anymore, so
I don't know.
but
At one time I thought it was the 15 engine, but then maybe it's not. Like I don't
it
actually know anymore.
like, who knows? Because like, the thing is we're gonna get this hopefully in March, and then we're like, at best, we get it next fall, like
Like the same
fall
year, like 2020.
21 to 2021
So like one part every year.
every year. It's gonna be one part every year. 3
Yeah,
years, we'll be
so
done.
I was thinking, I'm like, how old am I gonna be when this game is done? Like, the episodic releases?
Yeah. Like, I hope it's just because there's still so much to do, and there's still so much we don't know. Like, are they gonna go all the way up to, like, gold saucer, or, like, how far are they gonna go
In the first part?
in the first part? Yeah, yeah,
I think they announced that it's gonna be just Midgar.
right. And
So
that's
once
just
you yeah,
the
and that's just
first
the first part.
the first stage part. Like, that's literally a little bit of the game. I think everyone's kind of like tried to come to terms with that, but at the same time,
So, I mean, I think
it's gonna be sad
the question is, like, after Midgar, how much storytelling do they want to do?
because they're like remixing the story too.
Yeah, they're really changing it up to, I don't know, I guess, make more sense.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna cut some stuff out, but they're also gonna add a bunch of stuff in.
And I guess, like, there doesn't have to be as many side quests, but at the same time, I think they want to keep everything in that, because this is one of those games people go back and play every year.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
mean,
people like
people
dedicated.
really have fond memories of 7, and I feel like if they change too much of 7, it would kinda betray, like, their hardcore fans.
Yeah, but the good thing for this presentation, they had an hour-long demo. I only watched a little bit, but at first it seemed like it was going to be just you chose the commands during the active battle, like
Yep, mhm.
on the fly. But now they revealed that you can actually like slow it down, and you can actually. I mean, it's pretty much almost just a stop time. It moves so slow that
Yeah, you can do pretty much turn-based if you want
yeah,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is good. I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that, and it looks good. I wish I had have been able to play it. I had another friend that actually did play it, and he was just like, "It's good.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just that good."
I was on, like, just trolling the internet, and, like, one guy was like, "This remake looks exactly how I imagined it as a kid, like, when I was playing it." And I
He
was
had a
like, "That's
good imagination. He had a good
like,
imagination.
for me, though, I that's really close, like, that I think they really nailed the atmosphere of Midgar.
I think so too. Because
It's really good, yeah.
we had Advent Children, and for me, I think a lot of us were. I know me personally, I was just happy to see them all back together. But at the same time, when you compare Advent Children to what we're looking at now,
This game
it's
looks
like
way better.
it's like shit, man. Someone missed the mark somewhere. Advent Children, you were
It's crazy. It's
like
crazy. It's crazy how, like, Advent Children was, like, this super hot looking CG movie, right?
right, right,
And that was a movie, and, like, this is a game, real time, and it looks
and
way
it's
better than
way
Advent Children.
better.
I'm like, "How
And the
is this
thing is,
remotely possible?"
I will say though, I did like Tifa better in Advent Children. I do like. I think she looks better, but I think everyone else looks worse than they do in this. This is just remake is gonna be it's gonna be great. Like next year, you're gonna have remake, and the next month you're gonna have Cyberpunk.
Yeah, so here's
Uh,
the thing, like, my problem is, like, there's too many games that I don't have enough time for.
That's everyone's problem.
So there's, like, Persona 5 that's, like, next month, right? That's, like, 100 hours plus.
But if you
And
play,
then
till Christmas, you'll be fine.
no, I can't because November is Death Stranding.
Ah, yeah, yeah, that's right. Another game
Yeah,
that was show
it was at the show, yeah.
was at the. They did have it playable, if I remember.
No, I don't think it was
Wait, was it?
playable.
They had well, they did have, like, stage shows that were
Yeah,
playable, so
they had,
maybe it
like,
wasn't
footage
at the
that
Sony
you
booth
could watch.
playable, but yeah, that game looks, uh
Good? Yeah, it looks good? Question mark? Like,
there's a question mark. For me, I'm always sold on, what Kojima does.
Yeah.
it is different from what he's done in the past. Not 100% different, like 180. It still deals with a lot of the themes that he likes to tackle.
Right, but
We're
it's pretty wild, right? In the what
yeah,
the game is.
because what you're doing is walking.
I think here's the thing. So like one guy,
You're stealthing around the environment this time more than anything.
yeah, and you're also like the world's hottest delivery boy or whatever.
Nor
Norman Reedus, yeah.
Norman Reedus.
Norman
That
Reedus.
we found a cosplayer at the show that was a Norman Reedus cosplayer.
So just as Norman Reedus.
Yeah. He literally cosplays Norman Reedus. Like
That's
that
so
is
funny.
his cosplay. And so the fact that he's in this game is what made him cosplay Sam Bridges.
Oh, because he just looks the part, right?
Because
Yeah.
he's Norman Reedus.
He's Norman Reedus, yeah.
He is Norman. Yeah, so he had to do it too.
I think like Kojima, like he makes really, really good games. I mean, we know him mostly for Metal Gear Solid. He's done like a couple other games as well.
Right.
But he's always been, up until now, like a Konami employee.
Mhm.
So people are just like, when Kojima is like free, like when
What
he
is he
is
gonna
making
do?
his own game, he's calling all the shots. How crazy is
Is
he
it
gonna
going
get?
to be?
Yeah,
But
because he can do whatever he wants.
like when you look at it, like in the past, right? So we had Inafune left Capcom,
Right.
and he goes and makes My Number Nine, aka
Sure.
Mega Man, who died, who just sent himself off to get shot. I don't know, but it was
Sure.
the same type. And then we have Igarashi leave Konami,
He did
uh,
Bloodstained.
and he does Bloodstain, which is for
Good. If
better.
you
It's great, but it's
It's
still in
good,
the
yeah.
same. It's the same vein of what he's been doing, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, so what is Kojima gonna do? It's just I'm gonna do exactly what I've been doing.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, like, I get it, like, I agree, but I can already see, um, like, how far he's pushing it because, like, he's basically just taking any celebrity that he can get his hands on, he's like, "You're in the game, and you're in the game."
That is true. Like literally, his budget is like it's not. It's Hollywood. It's not. It's well, they're not all Hollywood actors.
No, like, his
They're
friend, like,
just high.
Jeff Keighley is in
Jeff
that game,
Keighley.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh gosh, that was
wild.
just weird. It's like, but it's not Jeff Keighley's voice, so you don't actually like feel like it's Jeff Keighley.
It's just Jeff
Quote
Keighley's
unquote, it's
face.
his face. You're like, oh, Jeff
Yeah,
Keighley.
yeah.
All I can see is him just like at the Spike Game
The
Awards or
Game
the Game
Awards.
Awards. He's like,
And
and Game
now
of the Year
my
goes to
face. Yeah, he's like world premiere my face in Death Stranding.
world premiere. You're just like, hi Jeff, glad to have you in the game.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was, I mean, so Death Stranding, is coming out in November, and
Right.
I want to play through that. There's also Pokemon that I'm kind of excited about.
Is that November too, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
also
yeah,
November. Yeah,
yeah. Sword and Shield looks good. Like like the thing is I don't want to buy a Switch because I will only buy it for maybe play Pokemon and then maybe play like another like Breath of the Wild and
like
that's
a
it. Like
first party game. Yeah.
I mean, but that's the role of every Nintendo system, right? Is to play the first
Whoa.
party. I mean, the Switch is different because
Yeah, so many
now
games. It's so many games.
now
Yeah.
it's hip. It's like the Wii, but with graphics.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
No, you're
people are like,
right.
hey, I
Yeah.
can release this Witcher 3 on it. It might not be the best looking Witcher 3, but
Yeah, just
you
Doom.
can
You can
play
play
it.
Doom. You can play Doom on the Switch, which is so
It's like
crazy.
but that's what's kind of cool about Bethesda and id Software is I
Oh
don't know
my god. Oh,
what it is about id, but
they'll
they'll
put their
put
games on anything.
they put every year they're like, and where's it coming to? It's coming to Switch, it's coming to Wii. It's like
Yeah, it's
this
coming here.
doesn't
Texas
work.
Instrument
Like
TI-84.
guys, okay, just do it
Yeah.
to it. Strong supporters.
Like so Pokemon's coming out, and then like in January, I feel like I'm the only one who's excited about this. But at Nintendo Direct, like right before TGS,
Right.
they announced that they're gonna port the Fire Emblem Sharp FE Ibun Roku.
What is that?
What's the English title? It's like Sharp FE like Mirage Sessions or something.
I don't know. Let me look this up.
It's a crossover between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei.
What? Oh wait, wasn't that like from a long
It was on the Wii
time?
U. It was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Sharp FE Ibun
Sharp,
Roku
yeah, Sharp FE. I think it's called
Mirage Sessions, right? Mirage
what's what?
something? Mirage.
Oh yeah, Mirage Sessions FE.
Yeah, so that's the English title. So that's getting
Uh,
ported over in January.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions. There we go.
Right, of course, sorry.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
What's the Japanese title? Like, I haven't actually, like, looked at the whole title before. Like, what is it?
Oh gosh, like you're testing
It's
my Japanese now. It's like,
it's really long, yeah.
e- oh my goodness, I can't read. Oh wait, sorry. Gen e ibun roku shop.
Sharp, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it
Gen
is.
e ibu. Gosh, I can't say that. It's just it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of long syllables in there in the middle.
I stumbled it too just now, but, I mean, you got it.
Gosh, it was Wii U. Like that. Did that just like come out of the blue? Was that a what?
No, I mean, not
It's because it was
really.
Wii U. It's because it was Wii
Yeah,
U.
it's
There we
because it
go.
was Wii U, so a lot of people never got the chance to play it, and then now it's coming out on Switch. So now, like,
It looks
everyone has a
hot.
chance to play it. It looks really good. It looks so good. So, um, I'm gonna play it finally because I actually own a Wii U, but I just hate playing the Wii U so much that I, like, never played it.
Game has so many vibrant colors in it. I'm just looking at screenshots and it's like that sharp, that FE sharp. It's like if Persona kind of put a touch on Shin Megami
I mean, well, that's
and
basically what it is. Yeah, it's basically what
it's
it
touch.
is.
And then like Fire Emblem's like, yeah, we just coming in for a little bit.
So it's like basically imagine you're playing a Persona game, but all your personas are Fire Emblem characters, and that's
This
what
is
this game is.
this is I'm still looking it up like, hmm, this looks kind of I mean, it looks interesting, honestly. I mean, the artwork looks good too.
So that's January, and then March, yeah, we're getting FF7, and then we're getting like Cyberpunk, and then
So you
like,
need to choose one RPG that you haven't played. See, I made it easy for you right there, and then just don't play it.
I mean, I have to play Persona 5, like I have to get that game, and then
Oh my word!
I basically have to finish it before Death Stranding comes out, and then I got to finish Death Stranding
I think you'll
before.
be able to finish Death Stranding, but not before Pokemon. That's
No, not
that's
before
like
Pokemon. No,
some way killing yourself.
no.
No sleep at all. So
But yeah, I mean, those are a bunch of the games that I'm looking forward to within the next like year.
I'm kind of looking forward to, and this is like coming out of TGS. I didn't go into TGS looking specifically for any games, like looking forward to playing anything or finding out more information about it that much, just because a lot of stuff happened before, like right before TGS. But the things that took me by surprise, honestly, were the new trailers for Guilty Gear, the new
Oh
Guilty Gear.
yeah, for sure.
Like I mean, I played a little bit of Guilty Gear back in high school, not much, but I played a lot of Blaze Blue, Blaz Blue, whichever one you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
me too.
then like I live in Japan, but I don't play a lot just because there's not anyone to fight against.
What do
Uh,
you mean? There's like everyone to fight against. You live in
well,
Japan.
yeah, like my main gem is Soul Calibur, and no one plays it. So
No, that game,
yeah, it
that
dies.
game dead.
It die every year around the
Yeah,
same time. Like
yeah.
yeah, my sad faces.
It
But
looks good though. Like, what's the newest one again? Like 6?
yeah, 6. It's good. It's solid. It's the best. Like it is one of the best since 2, honestly. 2. I like 3, but 3 is broken, but it's one of the
Okay.
best. It's really good tempo wise. I mean, they just have a bad issue of putting out good characters early enough for people to kind of stay with it. I went onto the lobby and there's like no one there in Japan. I'm like, "What? What do I have to
Yeah,
do to find someone to fight
yeah, but
against?"
isn't 2B like a DLC character?
Yeah, yeah, and she's good. She's crazy, man. She
That's like
she
the
has like
best
full screen
character.
mix-ups,
Yeah.
and so that is a thing, but I came out looking forward to Guilty Gear. Just the soundtrack, of course, has always been
Mhm.
good, but
Yeah.
just how it's looking like Arc, like what are you guys on these
Yeah,
days?
no,
Just make an anime.
I gotta
Just
say
make
that
an anime.
Arc System, those guys know how to make an anime game. Like, they look so good.
They this is it's gonna be good. So I'm thinking actually about like I really wanted to actually try to play it. And then of course, one other game that I really wasn't actually expecting, but it was on part of our work, was Neo 2.
Oh, yeah, the game looks surprisingly good. Surprisingly really good.
I mean, I guess it's ever since I played Bloodborne earlier this year, and
Yeah.
I finally kind of understood how to play those games a little bit, and like it's sunk in that it's okay not to want to go and just beat the crap out of something. You can hold back a little bit. You can pull enemies away from other enemies. It's fine. Don't feel like you're a coward.
Yeah,
You're
you have to do that
yeah,
to survive, yeah.
you're fighting smart. So it. I don't know. I almost want to play the first game. Thing with Team Ninja Combat or Team Ninja Mechanics is they cram a lot of stuff into the game. Bloodborne is simply one or two or three button presses, whereas like Neo has four different stances, and then you can add moves for each stance, and then countering and all this. I'm like, oh god, it's so complex, but it looks good though.
It
I want to
looks like
try.
really fluid. So Neo 2 looks surprisingly good. Also, I didn't see a lot of it, but that this game is coming out really soon. That's Code Vein.
Oh, Anime Souls. How is it gonna go?
Yeah. So
It's
like
been delayed. It was delayed for what, a year?
oh my god, it was like delayed for a full year. Yeah. But I mean, it's coming out like really soon, like super soon. Like I don't know, like a week or something from now.
I know a lot of people were excited about it though.
Yeah, a lot of people really were. And I was looking at a bunch of characters because you can make your own character, right?
Right, right.
You can make wild characters. Like it's a pretty open character creator.
I'm gonna look up some right now, just for fun. Code
Yeah, it's like Code
Vein.
Vein, like custom character, and just like prepare yourself for like the weirdest
Oh my
stuff.
word.
Yeah.
Jeez. They don't look bad either. That's like Soul Calibur has a really cool, really good character creation
Hmm.
engine, but I just don't like the way Soul Calibur characters look in game. I love how they look outside on like in concept art, but in game their eyes just are weird. But
Yeah.
this looks like I'm looking at this is I think Ino from Naruto, and
Yeah, you can make like
she looks exactly like her.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what lends the I'm sorry, what helps out the character creator is that it's already an anime aesthetic.
Is that like
So it's really
yeah,
easy to make anime characters, right? You know what I mean? Because it's already that same aesthetic.
like this mash looks like this is a really good mash. I think this is like Amelia
Guilty
from
Gear.
ReZero. Is her name Amelia?
Oh,
ReZero?
Amelia. Sorry, Amelia.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. She's like minus like you can't get all the clothes completely right, but you can get like the faces in this like spot on almost.
Yeah, because like with Soul Calibur, it's like a 3D game, right? It's still kind of
Yeah,
anime, but it's 3D. So you're porting like an anime character into a 3D space, and it kind of comes out weird sometimes.
yeah.
But when it's like Code Vein, when it's already anime, it's just it's anime. You can do it. Like it looks super good.
I wonder if you'll be able to. This would be a great like game to have because it's co-op too, right? If I remember, is it
It
co-op?
should be. It should be co-op. Yeah.
This would be a good game to do like a co-op run through and just make some good anime characters, but then just spend time literally talking at a camera.
Talking at a camera.
Yeah, like a virtual YouTuber. You
Oh,
just every once
yeah,
in a while you take a break from comment. It's like, all right, guys, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna talk.
yeah. I mean, so that's Code Vein. That's coming out like really soon. So,
I don't like. I hope this game launches for like releases for $30. We'll never do that in
uh,
Japan.
no, like not that cheap. So it'll be out
Man,
on PS4 and PC and I think
see,
Xbox One if you're outside of Japan.
I am. I don't know if I want to. I almost want to take a plunge and get this.
So here's the thing, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, so I agree with you. It's like it looks really good. It looks so good, but I don't have time for it. I gotta choose games. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I mean, I
I
still have
would
to play games like that I haven't played from this year and last year, the year before last.
like I'll only get Code Vein if I have like three other people that are just like, you have to play Code Vein. You have to play this game with me. I'm like, then fine, I'll get it. But I'm probably not gonna buy it on my own.
Oh man, jeez. Well, we've given Code Vein more spotlight than it thought it would deserve.
Well, I
Good
mean, it
Code
got
Vein.
it got delayed for a full year, so it better be good. You know what I mean? Like it.
But they're still so silent on it, right? Like besides this, like TGS actually being there, there's still no like buzz around it. Like I don't know if there's even a marketing division for this game. Like
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
it
I
just
know.
died.
It's
It
it's just
legit died.
yeah,
It
people just
legit
like
died.
forgetting about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Um, I think
I
that's
guess
pretty much
we'll
all the other games that I was looking forward to for TGS.
yeah. Well, we've definitely gone to our time limit, but it was a lot of fun. There are other games we could definitely talk about, like how Shenmue is apparently just giving refunds out, and how Kingdom Hearts has DLC because
Oh, Remind, yeah.
yeah, it's just that's another game I have to play. But we should probably go and play some of these games or prepare to play them
Yeah, or like get
because
my schedule free.
get our schedules free to to become hardcore gamers. Maybe we'll even stream those games. You never know, people.
Sure, sounds good.
We're always here. So that was episode 1 of the Unknown Games. Wait, Unknown Named Games podcast.
It's a work in progress.
That's the subtitle.
It's a
It's a
work in
work in
progress. It's a work
progress.
in progress. Yeah,
I could get used to this. The Unknown Games podcast.
it's a work in
It's a
progress.
work in progress. I
Yeah.
actually like it now.
All right.
But yeah, you can find me at on Twitter at if I tell you my Twitter, you'll all be able to find my entire name.
So you'll find us when you find us.
When you find us, we're gonna upload this to SoundCloud for now, and when
Sure.
we get technologically advanced, we'll maybe do some other things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's it. Until next time, whenever that may be. Hopefully next week, after next. I'm gonna say the week before next, but that's weird. Maybe 2 weeks from now, or the next week.
Yep. Sounds good.
I need a line to go out on. Alex, you got a line?
Stay clean. Peace.
Stay clean. What he said.